One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
All right, there we are. Good afternoon. Okay, so this is a very unusual time for me to go live. However, it was the time that I had today. And since I am back from my Vegas trip, I had to jump on because I don't think I've gone live all week. So I had to jump on, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to, make it work, okay? But this live is actually for the ladies, okay? And I'm really starting to get away from making lives specifically for one sex or gender, but I had to do this. I had to do this live based on some recent findings and recent conversation I had with a good girlfriend of mine. And it was basically telling her the type of men that I wanted her to be careful with. And she keeps stumbling upon these types of men. So I was like, hey, I'm going to talk about this on a live that be careful. So the title of this live is Be Careful with These Types of Men. I am not going to label the men red flags necessarily. However, you need to be careful with these types of men. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, be careful with these types of men. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of them, and I mean, there are many, but I'm going to give you a couple, just a little taste, and maybe I'll do another live and we'll talk about a couple more. But one of the biggest that I just don't understand why women are not aware of this type of man, and that you have to tread lightly. You have to be very careful with this type of man. Okay? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the man who has been cheated on. Please, if you don't listen to nothing else I say, okay, please listen to this. You must tread lightly and be very careful with the man who has been cheated on. The more cheating that man has experienced, meaning the women in his life have cheated on him, the worse it will be for you. Okay? And this is not a very popular topic because you all don't like me spitting harsh truths. You don't like me spitting hard facts about the fact that women are more resilient emotionally. Women tend to bounce back from cheating. Women tend to stay with men who cheated on them. Okay? And men do not. They do not bounce back from cheating. They do not have that emotional resilience to deal with being cheated on. Once a man finds out that a woman has been penetrated by another man, there's no coming back from that. And even the men who try, like I've had men in my practice, and it actually shocked me the number of men that tried to forgive their wives or their girlfriends, that tried to remain in the marriage or remain in the relationship. Baby, they're ruined. They're ruined and the relationship is ruined. And a woman should see it that way because it is, y'all not gonna like this harsh truth, but a woman cheating on a man is the ultimate sign of disrespect. If you let another man into your body, you don't love that man, you don't like that man, and you don't respect that man that you're with. Point blank, period. And how you feel about it, argue with your mama. Okay? That's the truth. A woman who has self-respect, a woman who has integrity, and a woman who has respect for her man is not going to cheat on him. She is not going to allow another man to penetrate her. But if that woman is of low character, if that woman does not have integrity, if she has poor character, poor morals, poor values, if she's, as the men say, for the streets or whatever, and she definitely don't really like you like that, she definitely ain't feeling you like that, she's definitely with you, not because of love, not because of respect, she with you out of convenience, she with you because you paying all her bills and all the other things you doing for her. Yeah, that woman she will allow another man to penetrate her. Because that's what y'all don't want to hear, which is the truth, that she don't like you like that. She don't respect you like that. She doesn't honor you like that. And so, you don't bounce back well from that. Men do not bounce back well from being cheated on. And then what's going to happen is now the sweeping generalization of these women, these modern day women, and they are for the streets, and they all do this, and they all do that, and this hypergamy, and they're all looking for something better. They're all looking to come up, and here we go. And that's when you're going to get the Kevin Samuels dudes. You're going to get them and the red pill dudes. And that's when they're going to fall into red pill rhetoric and fall into red pill platforms and podcasts. Because something has to soothe their ego. A man's ego. Keep that in mind. That if a woman cheats on a man, it obliterates his ego. And there just ain't no coming back from that. And so here you come, and you're a good woman. You're a woman of integrity. You would never cheat on anybody. You got sense. You love yourself. And you're just trying to be in a healthy relationship. No, baby, that man is ruined. That man is ruined. If he does not do the work necessary to overcome that, it's your worst nightmare. It's your worst nightmare. You now have an incredibly insecure man. You have a controlling man. You have an emotional man. Like all the things that I don't want in a man. That's what you now have in a man. So, ladies, tread lightly. Okay? When I find out that, and I find out. I find out in the first 30 days. Okay? I use these therapy listening skills and curiosity question asking. I find out in the first 30 days if a man has been cheated on. I sure do. And if I find that out, I assess when it happened, who did it, how long ago, how did it go down. I assess all of that before I determine if I move forward. But if I'm being honest with y'all, a lot of times I don't move forward. Because I know the man he's ruined. He is ruined. And this is a part of the chapter that I've written in the updated book. And it's all about assessing if a man can commit to you and if a man can fall in love with you. A woman must do that as soon as possible. There's no point wasting your precious time with a man who cannot commit and who cannot fall in love with you. That is a total and complete waste of your time. I don't waste time on men like that. I don't see it as a challenge. Now that's the female ego coming in there. You see it as a challenge. You think that because his ex-wife cheated on him with his best friend and ran off and married him and had a baby by him, or she got pregnant by, you see all that as a challenge. Oh, I'm gonna show him what a good woman look like. I'm going to show him I'm a good woman. I would never do it. No, baby. No. It don't work that way. Because remember, it's not about you. That's your ego. That's your ego getting involved. Thinking that you're going to show him something different, something better, and that's magically going to heal him. And he is going to see how different you are than his wife or his girlfriend. No, baby. Check your ego at the door. I don't like those type of challenges. I don't like no. That's not a test that I want to pass. I just refrain from that engaging. Okay? So if I find out this man got cheated on by the last 3 women he dated, I'm good. I do not move forward. And look, I don't give no specific reason. I just say, yeah, we're not a good fit. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out. You know, whatever else I need to say, however he feels about it is how he feels about it. But I'm just letting y'all know, you are taking a chance. You are breaking your own heart if you move forward without truly assessing, right? So I'm not using the sweeping generalization of, okay, if every man that's been cheated on, don't date him. I'm not saying that. But you must assess. You must carefully assess all the things that I just said. Because yes, there's a man out there who got cheated on. And yes, he's done his healing work. He realizes it's not about him, or it's not about anything he did or didn't do. He's checked his ego at the door. He's done, the work that he needed to do. He's, he doesn't believe all women are like that. And sure, that man could love again. He could remarry. He could be in a new relationship, and he could be great. But y'all are not even assessing. You're not even truly assessing. You're just jumping head first. And like I said, a lot of it's your ego making you say, oh, well, I can show him something different. I'm different. And all that's going to happen is he's going to show you something. He's going to show you something different, which is that man is not capable of falling in love. That man is not capable of truly committing. Or if he commits, he's going to be controlling. He's going to be insecure. He's going to be passive aggressive. He's going to want to know where you are all the time, every day, all day. You're going to hear all these slights and these digs and these backhanded compliments. No, don't do that to yourself. You need to find out, what is his level of healing around this topic. Okay? I could go on about that guy. Because like I said, I have dated these guys before. I've noticed that as I've gotten older, I'm running into more and more men who have been cheated on. I find that fascinating. When I was younger, so I would say 35, from when did I start dating? 18? From 18 to 35, I had only met and dated one man that had been cheated on. One, right? And 35 and up, I have met and dated 3 men that have been cheated on. And I'm like, woo, I don't know what's going on there. But as I've gotten older, I've come across more men that have been cheated on. So I'm not sure what that means, but I could go on and on about this guy. This guy is dangerous, right? This guy is, he either, like I said, cannot fall in love with you, cannot commit to you, or if he does commit, y'all, I'm going to turn the heat on because it's cold as I don't know what out here. So just be careful. Be careful of this guy, because he could make life really difficult for you. Not fun at all. Y'all, why this thing? There we go. I'm in a rental today. I'm going to be in a rental for 5 days because someone ran into the back of me before I went to Vegas, and my car is in the collision shop. And I don't know how this car works. I don't know how this car works. I don't know what's going on. So that's the first guy. And again, we don't talk enough about him. We do not talk enough about Mr. I've been cheated on. Okay? And we should. We should talk a lot about him, because he's problematic. Okay? Number 2. So this guy, similar to Mr. I've been cheated on, is Mr. I've cheated. Mr. I've cheated. Mr. I've cheated. So if it gets revealed to you that he has cheated on a former partner, a former wife, or girlfriend, now here's what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say that once a cheater, always a cheater, right? We've heard that so many times, ad nauseum. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't necessarily agree with that. And as I've talked about many times on my platform, there are two types of cheaters. So you need to determine when you hear this story or when you hear this said, you need to determine what type of cheater he is. What type of cheater is this guy? Okay? Is he a type 1 cheater? Is he a type 2 cheater? So you need to know that. What type of cheater is this guy? But the type 2 cheater, that's the guy that you are going to avoid. If you find out that he is a type 2 cheater, you just need to walk away. It's not going to get better. It's not going to change. Like, that's just in him. It's just in him to cheat. It's just in him to cheat. So nothing about that is going to change. And you need to leave that guy alone. But you're going to hear a story about, or you may ask the question, you know, have you ever been unfaithful or disloyal in your relationship? Has there been betrayal in your relationship? He may say, yeah, when I was really young in college, I cheated on my college girlfriend, or yeah, when I was in high school, or yeah, you know, I was the cause of the end of my marriage to my wife, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then you've got to now dig a little deeper, right? You've got to dig a little deeper and figure out, you know, what's happened. What has happened? Okay, why was he unfaithful? What were the circumstances behind him being unfaithful? You got to dig a little deeper. And this is where your intuition, this is where your gut instinct is going to come in. You have got to figure out, okay, do I want to move forward with this person? Because I've had situations where I was like, that sounds like a type 1 cheating situation. And so I kept going forward, right? But then I've had situations where I was like, you know what, this is a type 2 cheater. This is a type 2 cheater. Nope. This is a type 2 cheater. I'm just going to chalk it up to, yeah, this is not going to work out. And so, you know, I just said, yeah, no, we're not a good fit, or this isn't going to work for me, or whatever excuse I made. And I got out of it as quickly as I could. Because the reality is this. Again, I don't believe in once a cheater, always a cheater. However, if I assess you are a type 2 cheater, then yeah, the indication is pretty strong that you will cheat again. Like, you will cheat again. And especially if you can't even quite figure out, like, the why. If you can't figure out the why, if you can't put your finger on it, if you can't identify that it has something to do with your character or your morals, like, if you're not able to do that, then the chances are pretty high that you're going to do it again, right? So even if a man said, well, I was married to my wife and, you know, she had a baby, we stopped having sex, and I tried and, you know, nothing I did, you know, she just stopped having sex with me, and I tried talking about it, asking about it, and all the things. And I was helping her out. I was doing all these things, you know, to just try for us to be sexually intimate, and she wouldn't. And then this girl at work, you know, she and I got closer. We went on this business trip. We did wind up fooling around, blah, blah, blah. But if the man cannot identify in that, you know, yeah, you know, some of it's me in the sense of either I didn't make my needs known, or I, did not try to get therapy going or something going, right? I did not, in a sense, like, ultimatum my wife. You know, my character may not have been as strong, whatever. He's got to be able to identify that. He's got to see cheating as a flaw, as a character flaw. He's got to see it as something that's not an option. But if he tries to justify it, if he says, yeah, she wasn't sleeping with me, or yeah, she wasn't meeting my emotional needs, or yeah, you know, I got bored, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that guy's going to do it again. That guy's going to do it again because he sees cheating as an option. Cheating is one of the many options he has if he doesn't get his needs met. If I don't get my sexual needs met, if I don't get my emotional needs met, my attention needs met, I will cheat. That's basically what he's saying. I'm going to get those needs met regardless. And there's a lack of integrity there. There's a lack of morality. You know, there's some character lacking. So that's all. There's some character lacking there. So you got to dive deep, because this second guy, again, you're going to have conversations. You may tell him about you being cheated on. And he may say, yeah, that last marriage, that was kind of all me. I cheated in that marriage, or, I was unfaithful, and he may give you a reason why that happened, blah, blah, blah. But again, if he can't bring the reasoning back to him and his part in it, walk away. Walk away, because that's him saying, yeah, that's an option for me. That's always an option. If any of these things happen, this is how I could respond. As opposed to someone who says, yeah, I had to leave that marriage. My wife shut down. She shut down emotionally. We stopped being sexually intimate, emotionally intimate. We lost our connection. I tried and tried. I tried going to therapy. I tried everything. And I just couldn't, I just couldn't make any inroads. And so I did have to leave that marriage. And that was unfortunate, but, I had to leave that marriage. So, but this idea of, cheating is an option, or cheating as revenge, or any of the other things, like, be very wary of that guy. Okay. So the first guy is the guy who's been cheated on. Be very wary of the guy who's been cheated on. That can turn into your worst nightmare. Because like I said, a man's ego is so fragile that, that is not going to go well. And then the second guy is the guy who has cheated. And again, you want to find out, how often has this happened? What were the circumstances around it? Did this happen in multiple relationships or multiple marriages? Like, all of those things, remember, a person's future behavior is going to be determined by their past behavior. It's called patterns. Okay? People have patterns. We all have patterns. I have patterns. Okay? So those patterns are going to be determined by what I've already done. So what I've already done, what I'm already capable of, that's pretty much telling you what I'm capable of doing in the future. So just remember that. And then the last guy, and I want you to be, very careful around this guy. This is the guy that I see a lot of women now, and this is what's kind of concerning me. So a lot of women are giving this guy a chance, and he is the what would I call him? So he's the guy that was not Mr. Popular, was not Mr. Tall, was not Mr. Athletic. He was just your average run-of-the-mill, average Joe guy in high school or college. And, maybe he had a glow up. Maybe he's looking a little bit better. Maybe he's grew a little bit, or he's more fit or whatever. But, he's still not like, a Chad or a Tyrone. He's still not like got a lot of game or super swaggy, but he has made a good life for himself, right? So you're looking at him and you're thinking, okay, I remember this guy from high school or college, or I work with this guy, and, he's not super swaggy. He's not like drawing in all the women all over the place, but, he's an average guy. He seems to be doing okay for himself. Let me give him a try. Let me give him a try. Let me date him. Let me see if maybe this type of guy could be faithful. This type of guy could commit. See, that's what y'all are thinking. You're going for this average guy because you're thinking, okay, he's not, like out there, has a whole lot of swag, has a whole lot of drip. He dresses a certain way, talks a certain. You're thinking your chances of him being more committed, right? Being faithful and kind of making you happy. You think your chances of him being that way is high, and so you're giving him that chance. And maybe he's not your first choice. Maybe he's not the guy you would choose as your first choice, or he's not a guy that you find yourself having genuine burning desire for. But you give him a chance. You give him a chance, and, you get a little flirty banter going with him, and y'all exchange numbers, and y'all start talking on the phone or texting. Sweetheart, be very careful around this guy. Okay? Because here's what I have seen happen quite a bit in the last 3 to 4 months. I've seen women get with this guy, and initially things are going great. The guy seems like major appreciative, like, oh, thank you for the chance, thank you for the opportunity type energy. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in, 8 months in, he starts feeling himself. He starts to think, well, you know what? If I pulled her, if I got her interested in me, if I'm taking her out, if I'm dating her, who else could I date? Who else could I be with? Who else could I, Okay, because I seem to have this on lock. Now he gonna get beside himself. And now he gonna start treating you totally different. And in your mind, you're thinking, wait a minute, what? I gave you a chance. Like, I put you on. That's what you're gonna start to think. But he gonna start getting new with you. He gonna start taking longer to return your calls and longer to return your texts and going out with his friends or doing this and and then all of a sudden you're thinking, well, what has happened? How did the tables get turned here? I gave this guy a chance and now he playing me close, like, so be careful of that guy. I've seen that happen more than a few times. That whole thing flip on its head and it's like, okay, this guy is not my number one draft pick. He's not someone, that I would normally go for. I give him a chance, and now he get brand new. That's happening to a lot of women. So that's why I always tell women, like, be careful of that guy. Because that guy will get a big head. Like, here you are giving him a chance, thinking, okay, he's going to be forever appreciative for that chance. No, baby, his head's going to get big. And before you know it, you ain't good enough. He got to get something better than you. And he gonna start being real complacent with you, treating you real regular. And now he's going after something bigger and better. So that's why I always tell women, I want you to have a genuine desire for the man. And it doesn't just have to be about his physical presence. It doesn't just have to be about looks or his body. Have a genuine desire for him. Have a genuine curiosity about him. Like, yeah, you should be interested in him. It should not be this weird game that you're playing where, okay, let me date down and in hopes of managing this man's ability to cheat or managing his ability to commit. No, you should genuinely like the person. And hopefully the person genuinely likes you, and together you both feel lucky to be with each other. But you all are doing this whole, well, he should be lucky to be with me. And guess what? That's going to wear off. Like, that's going to wear off. And then what? What happens when the day comes that he don't feel lucky to be with you? You are regular. He thinks he can do better. And now he's actively out there trying to do that. So she said, I'm starting to realize everyone wants people who don't want them. Most of the time, men, women that you don't want are the best for you. Agreed. But keep this in mind. It's because a lot of people lack self-awareness. Like, they don't realize the true level that they're on. So they want way above their level because they don't realize they're a 5. Like, you're a 5 all day. And what do I always tell women? You should get a man that's slightly above you. And when I say 5, I mean 5.5. Right? So you should shoot for a 5.5. I shoot for a 7.5. That's my number. Between 7 and 8. That's what I tend to shoot for. Okay? A 7 to 8. I don't shoot for a 10. I don't shoot for a 9. And if I got a 7.5, I'm good. That's right around the number of the men that I date. They are 7s, 6.5s, 7.5s. I've dated a couple 9s or 10s, but I realized what a mistake that was. But they're 7s. They're like 7s all day. She says, I genuinely loved him. Some days I didn't like him. I want you to prioritize liking him over loving him, though. That is most important when it comes to women. You all put too much emphasis on loving a man when you need to genuinely like him. Liking is for the long term. Loving is for a fling. Loving is for a passionate love affair. But if you actually want to have a long-term relationship or marriage with a man, you should like him. You should aim to like him, to like who he is and accept who he is. And women don't do that enough. You all prioritize love and romance, but all that gets you is a short-term fling. That does not get you a long-term healthy relationship. And that's why a lot of marriages end for women, is they're prioritizing all the wrong things. They don't really like the man that they're with. They don't have genuine burning desire. They're trying to what do they call it? They're reaching up above their pay grade and all of that. Like, and it's, no one wants to hear this, but the truth is, if you got with someone and that person was actually objective with you and they told you the truth, like, yeah, you're a 5, you're a 4, right? That's going to sting your ego a little. But now you're like, okay, I need to shoot for a 4.5. I need to shoot for a 5.5. I need to stop trying to get a man who's a 9 or a 10. That's not realistic. And then you're upsetting the apple cart in the sense of you're wanting him more than he wants you. That's what's happening. And we all know that women's self-esteem, see, our self-esteem can't handle that. We can't handle wanting the man more than he wants us. That's why when you hear the old folks say the man should always love the woman more, that's biblical. That's biblical, baby. That's not something we made up. That came directly from God. That's why God said the woman should respect the man should love the woman. That's biblical. The man should pursue the woman. The man should want the woman. That's biblical, okay? So y'all the ones putting the cart before the horse, especially women today because they're so masculine. You all now want in men what men have always wanted in women. I find that so interesting. Women today, because of their masculine energy, they want looks, they want penis size, they want money and they want these things that really men have always wanted in women. The looks and the physical prowess and all of that. And I'm like, no, historically women, we've always been the sexier sex. We've always, for the most part, married men that were not beautiful, that we married men that were not handsome. They were not traditionally handsome or beautiful. We're the beauty. We bring the beauty to the equation. And most women understood that. We didn't go looking for the tallest, darkest, handsomest, or green eyes and all that. We didn't go looking for that, right? We are the beauty. The man is the beast. Okay, we've understood that for thousands of years. It's only now that modern day women are like, well, I want a beautiful man and I want and now it's all these things, but no, and your self-esteem can't handle it. Your self-esteem can't handle pursuing a man like that. And you think that by acquiring things that men normally acquire, like money and status and things, that, oh, that's going to draw a man in. That's going to draw a feminine man in. That's going to draw a man-child in. That's going to draw a man in that you're going to have to take care of. Sure, there's tons of them. And I tell women that all the time. If you want to be the masculine one in the relationship, I don't have a problem with that. But be prepared to be the man. Be prepared to be the husband and look for a wife. Okay? Brianne Nicole says, it's hard for people to be self-aware when everyone thinks they're a 10. What determines someone's level, physical appearance, educational status, or character? It's all of that. I've already done a video on it. And that video was like 7 or 8 months ago where I broke down all the categories. And I asked people to rate themselves 1 through 10 in each category, and that's going to give you your number. So I actually made that video already on how to determine what your actual number is. And what you're going to do is you're going to do it for yourself, but you're going to have 2 other people that know you. They're also going to do it. And the mean average of that number is your number. That's your number, So if it comes out to a 6 or a 6.5, or a 7, like that's what it is. That's what it is. So that's the part that people don't like, don't want, their ego can't handle. They're not emotionally mature enough to accept that. They're not grown enough to accept that. So they don't do that work. They think they're a 10 and they go around looking for other 10s. And, again, and ladies, remember, if a man who is a 10 is sleeping with you, that doesn't mean anything. There are all kinds of men out in this world that will have sex with me. All kinds. All races, all ages, all ethnicities, all status, money, all of that. There's all types of men that will have sex with me. That does not determine my number. Okay, sex has nothing to do with it. A man sleeping with you has nothing to do with what your number is. I did not list that under the categories of this is what determines what your number is. Sex was not it. Your sexual viability was not it. Okay? But women, for some reason, you think because a man will sleep with you, that means something. It doesn't mean anything. It means that you have a wet hole, for him to put his member in, and that will bring him pleasure. That's all it means. Doesn't mean anything else. And that wet hole could be you. It could be a watermelon holdout. I mean, yeah, you take a what is it? The borer, and you bore a hole in a watermelon, and hey, he can put his penis inside of there. It's wet. It's a hole, like, okay. It'll do the same thing. So no, it doesn't mean anything. You're making the fact that these men had sex with you mean something. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, so take that off the table. If they are truly masculine, you're going to take your money and your education and your status off the table. I mean, there are some, older, more mature men that do like women who have their life together and are business astute and all of that. But again, it's not as high up on the list as you think it is. Okay, so these are the three men, okay, that I just want you to be careful with, because I've seen all three of these men in the last 6 months or so with the clients that I've dated, and they have not had good outcomes. They have not had good long-term outcomes. They've had all kinds of problems because they did not do, this is a part of the vetting process. And in my humble opinion, that is really 95% of the cause of the dating and relationships that just don't work out, is the lack of vetting, is the lack of objective vetting of a person. You all have sex too soon. You get your feelings involved too soon. You ignore red flags. You move too fast, like all of those things. And it all turns out the same. Anytime I hear those things in a story and the person's in my office saying, yeah, we're having all these problems. Yeah, we're having all these relationship problems. Yeah, that's why. You did all the things that I tell people not to do. You have sex too soon. You move too fast. You get your feelings, involved with a person you don't know. The person's a stranger. You move in, you do all the things, you put the cart before the horse. You do all the things. You do not vet that person carefully. You do not take your time. You do not remain objective. You just dive headfirst in. And again, time and circumstance and research has shown us that doesn't build long-term relationships. That does not build long-term healthy marriages. That is the stuff that flings are made of. That is the stuff that summer romances are made of. That is the stuff that temporary, casual, situationship relationships are made of. So people are so upset, like, what's going on with all these casual relationships or these situationships or this or that? That stuff doesn't exist in my world. Situationships don't exist in my world. Casual sex don't exist in my world. Friends with benefits, that don't even exist in my world. That's not even a thing. Because, like I said, I've already determined that I have one and only one goal for interacting with men. Well, I should say two goals. The number one goal, if I'm going to interact with a man romantically, is marriage. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. Okay. And if me saying that out loud, either on the phone or on a first date, makes a man never call me again, okay. But that is my ultimate goal. It's marriage. It's to be a wife again one day. My second goal for interacting with men, if it wasn't romantic, is genuinely getting to know another person. It's just getting to know that person, seeing if that could develop into some sort of friendship or some sort of relationship. Maybe it's around business. Maybe it's an acquaintanceship or whatever. Sure, that could be a second goal. But outside of those two goals, that other stuff doesn't exist. And the reason why people fall into that is because it does exist for you all. So that's an option for you all. That's why you all keep falling into that mess. but that's not an option for me. Brianne Nicole says, why can't educated, successful, and beautiful women seem to partner with men on their level, specifically black men? Oh, black women, I'm sorry. Number one, because there's not as many of them. So that's part of it. There are not as many of the black men to match with the black women. So that's a big part of it. There's plenty of other reasons I can give you. Robin Hood says, that's a question I want to know as well. Again, there's just not as many of them. And then I want you to keep in mind, when you say, let me read it again. You say educated, successful, and beautiful women. Again, it goes deeper than that. I know plenty of educated, beautiful, successful women who are a nightmare. So again, you're making that presumption on what you see. Like you're making that presumption on, oh, look at her. She looks, perfectly presentable and she looks like this. And it's deeper than that. Y'all need to understand there are spirits on people. There's all kind of stuff going on with people that y'all don't even know about. So trust me when I tell you, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than the surface level, what meets the eye. So that's a part of it. And we don't talk enough about that. We don't talk enough about a person who seems all good looking and well put together and successful. They got other stuff going on. Right now, I'm working with my daughter. I'm working on developing her character and her morals and her integrity. And when I tell y'all, I could post a picture of my daughter straight off her Instagram, and men on here would be losing their mind. They would be losing their entire mind over my daughter. Okay? She is like the Lori Harvey of Richmond. Okay? She's a beautiful girl, but she has character work to do. She has personality work to do. She is highly neurotic. That's one of the things we talked about on our trip, that she has got to work on her neuroticism. She can be bossy, right? There's some stuff there. So it's like, I'm her mother. And I see the truth and I tell her the truth. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of mothers. I don't coddle my kids. There's no benefit to them or me for me to coddle them or lie to them. I tell them the truth. The truth hurts, and either they grow from it or they don't. But I don't coddle my kids. I'm not a parent or a mother that thinks all of my kids are perfect and all of my kids are beautiful. No, I'm not that woman. I am a truth teller. That's why God put me here, to tell people the truth. So that means I've got to tell my mother the truth. I've got to tell my father the truth, my kids the truth, my friends the truth, y'all's the truth. I tell people the truth because there's no benefit to them to lie to them. So what do I look like? Oh, my daughter's so beautiful and perfect. Every man should want her. Baby, there are reasons why men should not want her right now. She has some work to do. She has some character work to do. She has that neuroticism is crazy making. She got some crazy making tendencies that if a man came to me, can I be honest? Can I be honest on here today? If a young man came to me and was like, yeah, I'm interested in your daughter, and I knew him to be a good young man, I'd be like, don't do that. Don't do that. And he'd be like, wait a minute, like, this girl's mother is telling me this. Don't do that. My daughter's not ready for that. She's not ready for a genuinely healthy, good man right now. She's got some stuff. And she has to deal with it. And I've talked to her about it. You're going to blow up any relationship you're in because of your stuff. You have to work on your stuff. Okay? Because as beautiful as you are, as sexy as you are, you got some personality stuff. You've got some character stuff. You've got to work on your integrity. Okay? That was a lot of the conversations we had on our trip. And she was not happy, y'all. Can I be honest? My daughter was not happy. She was quite upset that I would be so bold, that I would tell her the truth. How dare I tell her what I see with my eyes and what I experience? She was upset. And I'm like, okay. I understand. Okay, I can see that. Right? I tried to be compassionate, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I was like, okay, I understand why that would make you upset. I get it. But I have to tell the truth, right? I have to tell myself the hard truth every day. When I'm not where I need to be, when I'm doing stuff I ain't got no business doing, I sit myself down. I say, Anita, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you know you ain't supposed to be doing that. You know what? You need to take a break. You need to sit your hindparts down. You need to work on yourself. You need to read your Bible more in the morning. You need to pray every day. I do it with me. So what I look like not telling other people. Lord, okay. NW Bethy says that's because young women never hear that. They grow up hearing the most important thing is beauty, especially these days. I agree 100%. But I'm not that mama because I know better. I will be 57 next Thursday, y'all. 57 years I've been on the planet. I've learned a lot in those years. And just to be able to be on here sharing the wisdom with you means everything to me. I will not be quiet. I will not go to my deathbed with what I know. That's not going to happen. I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. Whoever get it, get it. Whoever listen to understand will get it. Whoever don't like it, okay. Whoever disagree, But I'm not going to be quiet. Young women need to hear the truth. There's no benefit in lying to them. It's up the road for them. And that's what I told my daughter. I said, if you don't make these changes, if you don't grow emotionally, if you don't grow up, it's up the road for you. Life is not going to get better or easier. It's actually going to get harder. You have to emotionally mature. I said, and right now, you're like 16, 15. You're like a 15-year-old in a 22-year-old body. You've got to emotionally mature. So, Lonnie_Curran says, can't stay on long, but please send me the replay, okay? Ricky Lake, Waiting to Exhale, 90s R&B, made women the prize and men the ones to blame. I hope y'all know better now. Now, this is what I will say. Women made in, any time before the 70s, can I be honest? We were worthy of being pedestalized. We were great, right? I'm just being honest with y'all. We pretty fantastical. We pretty amazing, right? Because we got sense in our head. And then around 75, it started to plummet. And then 80, 85, it was going down. And then after that, it was done. It was done. The women are not worthy of being pedestalized. They're not worthy of being the prize. But women born before 1970, that's why all the women coming up in the 80s and the 90s. Like, that's when we were, 15, 20, 22, Yeah. We had the 90s girl body, the 90s girl natural beauty. We weren't mutilating our bodies with plastic surgery. Like, it just was what it was, right? We didn't have on a whole bunch of makeup and all this. No, it just was what it was. But now, So like I said, I'm going to tell the truth. And as they say, tell the truth, shame the devil. That's just what it is. So those who get it will get it. And they'll grow and they'll learn and they'll be better. There'll be a whole lot of people who don't, and I'm okay with that. NW Bethy says, from your practice, do you notice that women become desperate, for a lack of better word, in order to procreate or forgo having kids in order to find the right person? Desperate, as in, I do see women in their, 35, 40. If they have not married or mated or had any kids, yeah, they're gonna try to have a child by any means necessary. Forego having kids in order to find the right person. Well, here's the thing I want you to keep in mind. Women, so just like men will sometimes pedestalize women, women will sometimes pedestalize children. right? They see children in a romantic, almost fantasy way. And then when they have these kids and they realize, oh, damn, this is hard as hell. There's nothing fantastical about this. There's nothing like fun about this. This is hard as hell. Then it's like, oh, wow. But they do. They pedestalize children. They fantasize about having kids. Sometimes people fantasize about having kids more than getting married. There are women out here, y'all, can I be honest? There are women out here that ain't really looking for no husband. They really not. They gonna get one so they can have children. But they're not really looking for no husband like that, can I be honest? They want to have a child. It's in our nature to nurture something. That's what they're after. But they're not like, ooh, when I get a husband, they kind of know what's going to happen. But they want to have a child. So they make a child their God. And that's a dangerous, that's a dangerous state to be in. Some women do make men their God. They make marriage an idol. But a lot of women, like I said, it's in our nature. It's how God designed us to nurture something and to grow something and to see something come into its full potential. That's very much a part of our evolutionary programming. He said 75 was a good vintage year. After that, I agree. I agree with you. After 75, it just started going down, down, down. And then if you born from 1990 on, nah, I can't vouch for you. It's very few people I can vouch for. Brianne Nicole says women nowadays really need to bring back modesty. Agreed. The reason why men treat us the way they do is because women have no respect or standards. Agreed. And that's going to make some women mad, but it's the truth. Again, you have to tell the truth. And it's so funny to me because, Mr. Let Go is always talking about how women are like children. And in a lot of ways, today's woman is like a child, right? They are very much like children. Men tend to want to manage a woman or want to, they do treat women like children. Like they're not full-blown adult people and emotionally mature and all of that. That to me is weird, but when he says it, I understand what he's talking about. That women are like children. They are something to be managed. They are something to be entertained. There's something to be, whatever, right? But the thing is, it gets kind of weird because we're starting to talk about sex and all of that. That's why I don't say that, because to me, that's getting really weird. To say, oh, my wife is like a child. Okay, so you're having sex with a child? Like, come on. It's getting really weird when we go into that realm. I can't, totally co-sign that, but I understand where he's coming from in the sense of there are a lot of emotionally immature women out here. And so they are tantruming. They are acting out. They are, doing these protest behaviors because a lot of women are emotionally immature. Okay, that's what I say. I don't say women are like children. I say women are emotionally immature. They refuse to mature on a mental, on an emotional level. They're maturing physically and they're out here doing whatever it is they want to do. But mentally and emotionally, they're like 10 years old. They're like 15 years old. So that's my issue. And that's why I often tell men, like, don't seek to manage a woman. Get into a tussle with her. Get into a discussion with her about a hard subject. See how she handles that. If you don't like how that conversation goes, it's on you. It's on you. If you keep dealing with this woman, knowing that she don't live in reality, she's selfish, she's self-centered, it's all about her, right? She likes to gaslight you. She likes to, shut down or cry when y'all get into arguments. When you see that behavior, that she's telling you, she's showing you who she is. So if you move forward with her, if you get in a relationship, if you get married, it's only going to get worse. So whatever you see in dating, remember this. Anything negative you see in dating, I want you to make it times 10. Whatever you see negative in dating will grow times 10 as the relationship progresses. Anything you see good in dating will go down times 5. It will be cut in half once you enter a relationship or marriage. So keep that in mind. Okay, but if y'all can't have healthy, mature discussions, if you can't disagree without being disagreeable, if you get into shouting matches and name calling and throwing things and putting hands on people, see, that's my problem with men. This woman is showing you that behavior and you keep going. You keep going. You keep dating her. You marry her. And then you want to come to me, well, she shut down and she cried and she yelled and screamed and called me names and she threatened to leave. And you mean to tell me none of this happened when y'all was dating? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But she was giving you some. She was putting her mouth on your little wee-wee. See? So you was like, you was out of your mind. You was pee-whipped. So you don't remember all the arguments y'all got into when you were dating. All the disagreements you had where she acted out and you saw all the protests. See, you forgot all that. But that's my issue with men. These women are showing you who they are. You're just continuing to go forward. You're just acting like, well, it'll get better. No, baby, it's going to get 10 times worse. Anything negative you see in the dating process will get 10 times worse when you marry to this person. Okay? All right. The right person has to be you. I agree. Both men and women are going against our nature. We need the word of God, both sides. Y'all already know I agree with that. You already know. I'm going to play the role of the girl because I have the parts. Okay? So I'm going to be the girl. And if you are a biological man, I need you to play the role of the man. I need you to do what masculine men do. I'm going to do what feminine women do. And together, it's going to be beautiful. All right? If I need to come over into your masculine lane, I'm going to signal you. If you need to come over into my feminine lane, you're going to signal me. But for the most part, that's the lane we're going to live in. That's it. That's how it goes. It's really simple. It really is simple. And we're going to voice with words. We're going to verbalize our expectations of each other. We're going to verbalize what we want, don't want, and need. We are going to verbalize. I'm not going to make any assumptions. Because this is what y'all doing, ladies. You assume because he got a beard. You assume because he got a member hanging between his legs and he got some pecs. And he got some rough hands, and he got a fade. You assume that he is going to play the role of the masculine. And none of that stuff means that. Okay? That's called cosplay. There are plenty of men out here that have on the facade. They have on the uniform of a man. And they are not masculine. They have poor emotional regulation. They are not stoic. They do not initiate. Oh my God. When I meet a man who actually initiates, when he actually starts something, when he actually gets something going, I'm just like, oh Jesus, this is amazing. Oh, I got it. Oh yeah. Oh, let me get that going. Let me do that. Baby, you got it? Okay. like you talk about attractive. So y'all already know I can't do the passive man. I cannot do the passive man thing. Y'all already know. That's my job. Passive, patient, and vulnerable. That's the feminine's job. So I can't do the passive man thing. That's a big no. But I'm going to get back on track because I got to wrap this up. Those are the 3 types of men, ladies, that I want you to be, you're going to have to vet them very carefully. Because just based on the 57 years I've been here, it could go left real quick. Real quick. And again, I'm not going to say, oh, these are red flag men. Don't date them if any of this has happened. No, I'm not going to say that. I am going to say you're going to need to really vet carefully these 3 types of men. What are those 3 types of men? Number 1, a man who's been cheated on. Number 2, a man who has cheated on his partner, wife, woman, girlfriend. Number 3, the man who lacks the swag, lacks the charisma, the charm, right? May not be the best looking man, the tallest man, the fittest man, but maybe he had a little glow up. And now you're thinking, oh, I'll give him a chance and, it'll be better with him because, he ain't used to nothing. He not balling out of control. He not swagging all over the place. That third guy, you want to give him a chance. You may not have genuine burning desire. You may not like him like that, but you planning on giving him a chance to see what's going to happen. Be careful. Be careful. Because guess what? That third dude, he feel a way about all the women he ain't get. He feel a way about all the girls in high school. He feel a way about all the girls in college. And here you come. And now it's get back time. It's get back time. Okay? Mommy and daddy issues, can't forget that one. Like I said, there are many of them. I just talked about these 3. There are many, 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 many. I could go on and on and on. I am going to read a book by a gentleman who recognized me in Las Vegas. I actually got a copy of his book yesterday. I'm going to read it this weekend, and we're going to do a live together. And it's all about men with mommy issues. He wrote this book all about men with the mommy issues and all of that. So I'm excited to have that conversation. I also connected with a young lady who sent me a digital copy of her workbook. So hopefully we'll do a live and we'll talk about that. I want to try to focus this year and every year after on solutions. That is what my platform is now. It is all about being a part of the solution. I will not post negative, contrary content anymore. I will not post salacious content anymore. I will not post things that everybody else is posting about something crazy that some woman or some man is doing. I'm done with that. That time for me is done. I'm going to talk about solutions. I'm going to give solutions. I'm going to give you all good platforms to follow. I'm going to give you all good resources to get a hold of, good books, good podcasts. That is what Better Love Movement is all about. I am opening up my platform for men and women. My platform originally started to support women on their journey, and I have decided to open my platform up to every sex, all genders, because all of y'all need it. All of y'all need it. Okay? All of y'all need help, and I realize that now more than ever. So that's what I'm going to be on now. But I will not be posting kind of what everybody else is posting and having commentary on it. And all we're doing is talking about how crazy it is and how bad people are and these men and these women. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So if you need that, this ain't the place for you. This is the place where we talk solutions. This is the place where you're going to get resources. You're going to grow. You're going to stop focusing on all the negativity. So you can attract something positive. You can attract something good. That's what this is about. That's what school is about. School will start on February 1st, and we will grow in school together. So I've decided to offer the first 2 months of membership to school at half price because it's a place that we're both going to grow. So I'm going to grow in school. You all are going to grow in school. I hope you're able to meet other men, other women there. And we're going to grow and learn together. So those first 2 months, school will be half off. I'll start putting those posts up this week. And I'm super excited to go on this journey with you. But this will be the year of the single. Right now, I think 46% of people are single. We're almost half of the population, and we have to speak to those people. We have to talk about getting prepared if we do want to be in a healthy relationship. A lot of us are not prepared. Like, can I be honest? If I met the man of my dreams today, right? So if I leave here now, and look, I'm about to take my daughter to Painted Tree, and then we're going to get something to eat. So if I leave here now, I take her to Painted Tree Boutique and we get something to eat. And my most perfect godly mate shows up. I'm not 100% prepared. And it's not that you have to be 100% prepared, but if I'm being honest, like, I might be at 60%, like 50%. Like, I still got some areas of growth. I still got to make space for him. I still got to figure out what that would look like. You know, and that's just me being vulnerable. And that's a lot of people. A lot of y'all are not truly ready for the best person for you. So you got to do that work. Like, there's something in me that needs to shift energetically, like right now, because we're in Year of the Girlfriend. I am just enjoying my own self. I'm enjoying other women. I'm enjoying not having that pressure on me. I'm enjoying sleeping in the bed by myself. I'm enjoying managing all of my time. Look, I don't have to give my time to no man. I don't have to figure out dinner for my husband. I don't have to figure out what he got going on the weekend. Anita will get on a plane tomorrow if I feel like it. I'm really enjoying that. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, if God's guy for me comes in my life, I got to stop that. I got to change. And see, we don't think about that enough. We're going to have to change for our God-designed mate. We're going to have to change some things about ourselves and our life. And we don't talk enough about that. I'm going to have to share my bathroom. I might have to share my bedroom, which I'll be honest with y'all. I feel a way about that. Do I want to share my bedroom, my bathroom, my closet? Do I want to, like I said, if I want to get on a plane tomorrow, I could do that. I can't do that when I have my husband. I can buy what I want, go where I want. I'm going out to a girls' night tonight. But guess what? I got to run all that by my husband. So that's just me being real with y'all. That's just me being real. I thought about it even last month. I was like, do I really want this? Because I kind of like doing what I'm doing. Look, next week, I'm about to shoot 5 episodes, 5 modules. I have to shoot 5 modules every day for 5 days. So I'm not cooking nothing. I'm not cleaning nothing. Like, I'm putting on a full face of makeup. I'm showing up at the studio, literally shooting 5 episodes every day for 5 days. Right? I'm going to come home. I'm going to see my clients when I can and do my paperwork. But where would my husband fit into all that? So where's his time? What am I doing with him? See? So right now, like, if I'm being honest, there isn't any. So yeah, I got some work that I still need to do. I still need to do some work, y'all, if I'm being honest. Okay, Lawrence _LPW said, I could have started and stopped with number 2. That's damn near everybody. Like I said, it's something. So that's all we're going to say about that, because we're not going to speak negatively. I'm done with that. I'm done with all that negative speak. Robin Hood says, I said that too. I like designing my own place and having my own candles. I don't know how I would feel about my wife changing up my style. Exactly. Exactly. So this is what I tell myself when I get into these mind jaunts. I say, dang, that person's really got to be worth it. Like, that person's really, like, I have to want to be with that person more than I want to not share my room. I have to want to be with that person more than I don't want to share my bathroom. I got to really, really want that person. That person has to be so worth it to me. And can I be real? I haven't met nobody like that. Like, I don't be liking them like that. I don't be liking them enough to change up my whole world. I don't. They not worth it to me. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If God drop him in my life, though, I'd be like, oh, God, I got to make some changes. I got to make some changes for this man. So I'm working on it. God knows my heart, y'all. And he know that about me. He like, Anita, you say out of your mouth you want this, but you be doing this. Like, so them two things don't align. What you say and what you doing, they're not lining up, Anita. So once you stop being double-minded, then we can talk. That's what I think is happening right now, if I'm being honest. So school will be a safe place where men and women can come They're going to learn their relationship skills, their relationship tools, right? They're going to learn all the things. They're going to interact with each other every single week. We're going to have a Zoom call where we interact with each other. You're going to practice talking to the opposite sex, right? We'll have happy hours, and we'll have mock dates, right? Where we'll get to pair up a man and a woman, and you all will go on a mock date on Zoom and ask each other questions and get to know each other and practice conversing with each other. Practice the skills that you need to be a really good partner to someone. Because a lot of y'all need that. Right? A lot of y'all need that. Y'all don't practice good conversations. Y'all don't practice asking questions. Y'all don't practice listening and listening for understanding. Y'all don't practice being curious about people. So that's what I hope that this space will be, and it will be a safe space. There will be rules. There will be regulations. There will be administrators that if you are breaking the rules and acting a fool, you will get kicked out. Okay? So that's what we have up on deck. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this year. This is the year of the snake. January 29th is the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year that will be coming. And let me tell y'all about another really important date. January 25th, all of the planets in the solar system will align. That is a master manifestation day. I will take 1 hour on that day to sit down and journal and write about all of my intentions. And I'm going to suggest you do the same. Okay? So that's it. That's what I got to share. This video was primarily for my ladies, even though my men kind of jumped in and they had good conversation, and I appreciated the conversation. But I will make videos like this specifically for women or specifically for men. I got a man-specific video coming up that's all about, prioritizing the sexuality of a woman, prioritizing the beauty of a woman over the character, over just her as a person, right? The Bible even tells you that you're supposed to see all the older women as mothers or aunts and the younger women as sisters. That's how you're to interact with women. And men today are not doing that. So the church was designed for a man to view women a certain way. Men today are sexualizing every woman. I have young men that sexualize me, which is crazy, right? So they have these fantasies about the MILF. Is that what they call it? The MILF. Or they have a fantasy about the school teacher. I hear that a lot. Oh, it's like being with the school teacher. It's like being with the principal. I'm like, what? Being with the librarian. These are all the little fantasies that men tell me about. And instead of just seeing the soul of me, the spirit of me, who I am as a person, and what value can I bring to them outside of my sexuality, that's what I want to see men work on. I want them, they're very visual, and I understand that. That's how God made y'all. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. Men are incredibly visual. It's all about what they can see. And then the next thing past visual is touch. So they are visualizers and touchers. Okay, that's men. If it look good, if it feel good, like it's good. That's what y'all say. I need you to go past that, because that's what's jacking y'all up. It's all about what you see, and it's all about what you touch, as opposed to what is your spirit? What is your soul saying? Mentally, your rational, logical. Like, we need to go past just those two things. So I'm going to make a video about that, because I'm noticing men, that's what's hemming men up. They're making it all about the visual. They're making it all about a woman's beauty and her booty. And then when the ugliness of who she is inside comes out, they're like, this isn't fun. And guess what? That beauty is going to wear off. I tell women this too. I've dated many a fine man when I was young. And when I tell y'all, it was like, oh my God, this man is fine as all outdoors. And then 9 months later, I'm not lying, 9 months later, I saw him like every other man. I was like, there you go. There you go. Like, he would come out the bathroom. We would go somewhere. And look, other women are looking like, God damn, like, ooh, look at him, blah, blah. And I'm just walking through the mall with him like any other day. Like, okay. All right. Because I'm used to it now. I done woke up next to it. I done seen it every day. I done share the bathroom with it. I done share the bedroom with it. I done, And that's what men don't understand about women. That beauty is going to wear off. It's going to wear thin, especially if that personality is ugly. If that woman is neurotic and crazy making and full of drama, man, that beauty going to wear off real fast. That beauty, you going to be like, dang, I got to get rid of her. She get on my nerves. So that's all I'm saying. That's for another video, though. All right, have a great day. I will see you all soon. I will be going live on Dr. L's podcast tomorrow. So if you are available at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, I want you to jump over to YouTube. I'm going to post about it today on Instagram and YouTube. Jump over to YouTube at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Check out the podcast. Okay, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. And check out the podcast. Weigh in. All right. And he always has a segment where you can come up. You can come up and you can give your thoughts and opinions. All right. But you can, join the discussion. But that is what I'm on this year. It's all about solutions. I'm tired of talking about the problem, and it burnt me out. That was the reason why I had to take that 3-month-long break, because I was just tired of talking about the problem. We all know what the problem is. We need to start talking about the solution. All right. Have a great rest of your day. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to give it a thumbs up, because I got to get back into the algorithm. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. And I thank you so much for your support. And as always, stay open to love.